villagers, such simple, humble creatures. All they really crave in this entire game of Minecraft is emeralds. And so while most people build enormous farms for emeralds, but I'm going to be honest, I'm not doing all that. Instead, I'm just going to make a really big stick farm and trade it all for emeralds. So this episode's focus is creating as many sticks as humanly possible without doing any effort. So I can't use trees. I'm not going to cut down any trees because our first customer is asking for bamboo. And so bamboo will help us translate into sticks, which will help us translate into gangster money. Keep up. Okay, that's one. I need like 30 instants to make this work. Unbelievable. Time to file a material request for pistons. Okay, for our customer, Mr. Samuel Piskank, I hope I'm saying that right, he wanted some bamboo. He did not specify how much bamboo, so that gives us a little bit of kind of some relaxed requirements on our deliverable. For Mr. Samuel, we are going to send you our first customer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5 and some more stacks of bamboo. So hopefully that helps you out in your Minecraft world. And of course, you know, tell your friends about our services and whatnot, and hopefully that will kind of help you out. No good company or organization exists and makes a lot of money without, you know, a little bit of unnecessary pollution. So we've just decided to throw all of our disgusting, horrible byproducts that definitely won't hurt the environment right next to a river. There's no such thing as an EPA in this Minecraft server, so I'm sure that won't affect anything in long term. Now, of course, we can't get anything done today without going to over 500 meetings because we messed up some things on the first episode, and now we have to go to extra meetings for that, in addition to the meetings of things that are actually, you know, currently happening. Then I have to meet with the sales team because we're actually have a customer for this episode. So let's go do that. Yeah, yeah. Our potatoes per minute is looking pretty good on the board, but I'm afraid that we're gonna have to do a root cause analysis because the rotten potatoes. It really doesn't get old. I love sitting through meetings with people non-stop all the time and only doing about 20 minutes of work. Remember, kids, 80% of the work is done in only 20% of the time. As you can see, it does a couple of things. It's got 2 observers over there that are observing only 1 stalk of bamboo. So once that gets fully grown, it's going to activate all these pistons and farm them all. They are growing on mud blocks so that whenever a piece of bamboo falls onto the ground, it will go through the mud and get picked up by hoppers I have underneath, which will lead into these chests here. You can kind of see that right there. And of course, there's some variance here, which of course is just by random. I just got legitimately jump scared by a bat, holy shit. But there's some variance where the bamboo will kind of go in a random spot that, well, can't be picked up, but I think we can take those acceptable losses. So I'm actually going to start a timer for at least like 10 minutes and see how much bamboo we can produce with one little unit cell, and then we can kind of improve from there. So after what we would call in the corporate world a time study, I can actually accurately report on how much bamboo we're getting. Not beats per minute, bamboo per minute. Yes, so we've got potatoes per minute. Potatoes per minute is pretty high, but you have to realize that we take that into account because it takes a long time to grow the potatoes. So then when we harvest it takes about 40 minutes, and then when we harvest it, we get a shit ton. So it kind of amounts to that. Same goes for carrots. But see, because it's not a massive harvesting scheme with the bamboo, we're only getting, and it's a constant flow, we get a smaller amount, but we get that amount a lot faster, if that makes sense. So like in the time I was kind of calculating that out, we can check this farm again. We got 4, we got 12, we got 3. So in that time, so in about the 3 minutes or so, we've just gotten 19 bamboo. So we're already at 55 bamboo. We're looking pretty good, but I think for our customer, we can do a little bit better. Also, just like an actual corporation, I can give you guys a little bit of a quarterly update, as we say. So right now we've got 202 bona fide gangsters. That is also a metric that I am tracking in this series, is the amount of subscribers and audience that we have. So if you want to participate, you want to add to our statistics and stuff like that, make our internal investors go up and stuff like that, by all means, go ahead. Our first customer, Samuel Piskank, hopefully I said that right, is going up on the board because in addition to doing the kind of the customer request who requested bamboo, which is the subject of the video, they also recommended we do a couple of different things with like chicken farming and stuff like that, which I thought were really good ideas that we will eventually get into. But so anyway, if you guys want to be on the board, you know, drop a comment with some cool suggestions, or it's just a really cool comment or whatever, I'll go ahead and kind of recognize that. But if you want to become a customer, of which the whole video is kind of focused on, just put your request in the comments, and I'll put it through our marketing and sales departments. As you guys can see, as far as corporate stuff goes, I actually added an HR department, so now we can actually handle, you know, employee benefits and stuff like that. As right now I am the only employee, this only accounts to myself. So let's go take a look, actually. Yeah, as you can see, it's very roomy. It's very telling of what happens, because most of the time if you get sent to HR, it's usually never a good experience. In fact, we actually added a nice little thing here too, that so once you're actually talking to an HR representative, it's a nice little cursed pedestal. You actually start taking damage, yeah, if you actually talk to our HR representatives. Part of the reason I was so willing to accept bamboo as kind of like our first order, our first kind of shipment out, is because I eventually want to start moving all my villagers to only trade sticks, because trading sticks, well, obviously books and stuff like that is a necessity, but trading for sticks makes it a very easy source of emeralds, especially because it's like 32 sticks or something like that for an emerald, which, you know, obviously we have plenty of wood supply, but with this bamboo farm, we can now have a consistent flow of money. Also, let it be known for the record that somebody had mentioned in the comments, I think it was actually our first customer. He said something about me having netherite tools and stuff like that without any enchantments and stuff like that, as if I took them from creative. Well, I'll have you know, let this be a press release, I'll have you know that I have had these netherite tools for quite a while. I've had these netherite tools since probably the last, not the last episode, because that was when I started this whole corporate thing, but probably the last like 3 episodes ago or something like that was when I started making my netherite tools. So if you're actually curious as to how we got to this point where I have this big house and stuff like that, and we're starting to build the foundations of the corporation and whatnot, you can just watch the other videos in my Minecraft survival, because then you'll understand like why for example we have that enormous spire, and why we have a graveyard over there, and a bunch of other stuff like that. So if you're curious where I got my tools and whatnot, that's kind of where that comes from. Okay, so after a little bit of extra work, a little bit of overtime if we want to call it that, I have come up with a solution for our little stick development, for our little money laundering scheme, I guess you could call it. So we're going to take a look. This is what I have nicknamed the money printer. So obviously I did a little bit of work to the whole thing and whatnot. I kind of added another section there, and so now they all filter at I really wish there was a pipe or something in this game instead of just using all these hoppers, because it looks crazy, it looks insane. Also with the dripping, it's kind of a funny little jankiness to it. But now all of these sticks get filtered into these chests, and I've been AFKing for a little bit, and yeah, so we've got a lot of sticks, so we got to turn all these into emeralds. Guys, are we on our way to becoming the largest and most high-performing Minecraft corporation in Minecraft's normal survival? Stay tuned to find out. Of course, you'll see we'll automate more things and create or product and whatnot through the next video. So be sure to check that out when it comes out, and otherwise I will see you guys in the next video. We'll circle back, and we'll put a pin on it right now, and we'll circle back, and we'll get a rain check on that. I'll see you guys in the next video. Deuces.